Fast fact, in Britain, a car's hood is called the bonnet. The boot is its trunk. Lionel Martin, Hill Climb Race 1922. Chapter 2, Sunny Jim. Two determined dreamers. Englishman Lionel Martin sold cars in the early 1900s, but his real interest was in hill climb racing. In this sport, cars race up steep hills, Sunny Jim. Aston Martin timeline. Martin's friend Robert Bamford shared his love of cars. The two men decided to build the fastest, most stylish cars in England. 1922. Aston Martin passenger cars go on sale. 1932. Aston Martin Le Mans is introduced. 1947. David Brown buys Aston Martin Company. DB miles begin to be made in his honor. 1958. The DB4 is released. In 1913, they formed Bamford and Martin Limited. Martin raced the first cars at Aston Hill. For that reason, the cars were called Aston Martins. 1977, V8 Vantage is released. Ford Motor Company buys Aston Martin. 1994, Ford Motor Company buys Aston Martin. 2004, three current models go on sale. Aston Martin DB9. 2007, Ford sells Aston Martin to a group of businessmen. Aston Martin race car, 1923. The first Aston Martins were race cars. Passengers cars weren't sold until 1922. Aston Martins have been amazing drivers around the world ever since. 1959, Aston Martin DB4. 1979, Aston Martin V8. Chapter 3, Peak Performance. Aston Martin's V8 Vantage is a perfect mix of power and style. This bold sports car can reach 62 miles, 100 kilometers per hour in only 5 seconds. 2005, Aston Martin DB9. The DB9's body is aerodynamic. Its wide wheelbase creates more passenger room and a smooth ride. The DB9 can speed to 186 miles, 300 kilometers per hour. Aerodynamic, built to move easily through the air. The most powerful Aston Martin is the 520 horsepower Vanquish S. Its engine roars from 0 to 62 miles, 100 kilometers per hour in 4.8 seconds. Aston Martin DB9 interior. Aston Martin Vanquish S diagram. Headlight, door mirror, hood ornament, driving light, front air dam, wheel. Chapter 4, Unique Models. Lots of thought goes into making each model different. 50 designs were tested before the V8 Vantage hit the market. The DB9 Volante is Aston Martin's only convertible. Its power top can be put up or down in 17 seconds. Convertible, a car with a top that can be put up or down. The Vanquish S looks like an animal about to attack. Hand paddles by the steering wheel shift its 6-speed transmission. A series of gears that send power from the engine to the wheels. The higher the gear is, the faster the car can go. Chapter 5. Works of Art. Aston Martins are first-class sports cars. They are made of strong, lightweight materials and have the newest technology. 2006. Rapide concept from Aston Martin. 1959. DB4 green. 1958. DB Mark III blue, and 1979 V8 red. Aston Martins are built to last. About 75% of the cars sold since 1922 are still on the road. Fast fact, James Bond drove an Aston Martin in all of the Bond movies.